Welcome to Richard Scale Modelling. This is part 6 of AIrfix's Heinkel H-6 Scale 172, and it's the Motorhead 40th Anniversary Edition. In part 5 I dealt with a lot of the canopy and placing that on. In this part I'm going to be carrying on with the canopy and doing the main painting and decals. So let's jump into this and see how I get on. Jumping into where I left off in part 5, I'm placing some more guns inside the turrets here. This is for the front turret, and I'm using a little bit of canopy glue just to secure it. And this is the glue I'll be using for most of the rest of the canopy. So now I'm just placing together the canopy for the central gun in position. The instructions say do it on the model, but after dry fitting I decided to do off, then just place the whole unit on. But first it's time to put in the forward gun. This just sits on, and this is where you find out if you put all the other little bits of canopy in on properly and it's all lined up. It should just fit on without any drama. Luckily mine's had. And then it was time to place on the central part of the canopy. I had to press this down quite firmly to get in position. That was due to the figure being slightly higher than I would have liked, but I got it in the end. And then the next part of the canopy to go on is a little cover that just sits above the pilot. So now I'm using Revel Aquacolor 06 Tab Black. And this is the colour I've chosen for the propellers. It's just personal choice, there's not any mere reason. Because all the plate is black, I just wanted different tones of black. So this makes it a duller black to the metal black. Making up the props is a simple process. There's just a couple of little bits to it. Now you can have these free moving if you wish. I decided not to. I'm having it as a static model, so I don't see the point of moving the props. But once all the little components are put together, they're just the little sandwich parts stuck on top of each other, and then the prop shaft itself goes into the prop. And then of course lastly the nose, or whatever it's called. I'm not sure actually what this part's called. I've always called it a nose cone. But it probably isn't called that, and that just fits in between the blades. It's a really nice fit. So as you can see, I've started the painting, and I'm using the same colour mixture as last time. So that's Revel Aquacolor 10% of 91 steel and Revel Aquacolor 90% of 07 black gloss to give that metal black look. This was a simple painting process because it's all the one colour. It went on beautifully. There wasn't any major issues with it. So I'm just setting up my camera here to paint in some 90s silver Revel Aquacolor, and this is where the little clear beacon light part will go. But I always paint a little bit of silver in there, just to make it look like it was a light. It's not really necessary, but that's how I do it anyway. And now it's time to place on the props. These just sit right on the cowlings. Not a problem whatsoever. The housing for them is perfect for the prop. The little circular parts that are made up the prop just sit in there. And the last to go on is the little wing probe. I generally put these on at the last because I've got a habit of knocking them off. There's also a little probe to go on the top here, or aerial. Again, it's entirely up to you whether you put these on last or not. As I said, I tend to, because I always knock them off. It's always a problem with me. And the last clear part's going in now. This is the little beacon light. This part I'm placing on, I actually forgot about it. I almost missed it. I don't know what it's for, but it sits at the underside of the main canopy. There is a little groove for it to sit in, If I just move my hand, you'll be able to see it's a little sort of oval shaped piece of plastic. So now on to varnishing, and I'm using Pledge Clear Polish or Pledge Floor Wax, and it's just a thin layer I'm putting on, so I'm barely damping my brush. This is just a protective layer before I put the decals on. So it's now time to put on the decals, and there's not a lot of decals to put on here. This is mainly due to the decals for the other paint schemes. They're all designed for that, not for this paint scheme. So they're all darker colours, so there's no point in putting them on because you won't see them. So all I'm placing on is the main motor head decals. And then using the normal method to place these on, so it's softening them up in warm water first of all. I'm then treating the surface with microsol. Now this solution is quite a powerful solution for decals. It will soften them up greatly. So when you put your decals on, be sure you know where they're going, because it won't take much for them to rip. But the beauty about using the microsol is that it will set your decals in to whatever surface that you place them onto. It takes a little bit of time for them to bed in, but it's a lot better solution to use than a normal solution that will not drag in that decal how you want it to. So just bear that in mind when you're using something like that. It's very important when you're placing on decals like for this one. The motorhead sign is quite a large decal, but it's got a lot of work to do to blend in with everything that's on the undercarriage of the plane. And this is where microsol comes into its own. If you find it difficult, don't be afraid to cut these decals up before you place them on, letter by letter. That will work as well. I'm just going to make slight adjustments to this decal, and then I'm going to end the video here. The reveal will be on the next video. I was hoping to get it into this one, but I'll make it too long a video. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you check out the channel for my other builds, including for this build. If you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and you'll be notified of all my upcoming builds. Hit that like button and leave a comment, and don't forget to share the video. But in the meantime, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.